What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Locked In Sports, bringing you my six best bets for today, Sunday, March 24th, in the NBA. Now, before I head into the recap and then the picks for the day, you might notice, same as last video, lighting's a bit off, background's a bit off. I'm on vacation. I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to find a setup that works. Where the lights aren't blinding, but I'm visible, and yeah, you guys know how it is. So thank you for putting up with it, and also I just want to take this opportunity to say, please subscribe. If you're watching these videos a lot and you're making money with the picks, which I know you are because we're on a crazy good streak here. Um, then consider subscribing to the channel so that you get notified when new videos drop, so you can make more money. It benefits you and it helps me out here too. And as always, leave a like. It is rough making videos on vacation, not really fitting in my schedule as much as I'd like it to. But obviously, I mean, hey, if I lose some sleep over it, if I got to get up early, go to bed late, I don't care. I like this. I like making these videos. I like getting these picks out to you all. So I'm going to keep doing it. But, an extra like would be appreciated. Yeah, with that little self promo out of the way, let's hop into a recap from yesterday. 3-3 day, not our favorite, but hey, 3-3 day isn't terrible. What hit for us? Well, Bogdan Bogdanovic didn't even get close to his line. That was a sweat-free under. Sabonis. No, I should say I'd call this 3.5 correct because I gave out Sabonis's individual rebound line and I also gave out his rebound plus assists line. And his individual rebound line, he landed with 14. He went over by one. And his rebounds plus assist line, he landed with 22. He went over by one, or by half, I should say. So whichever you took, whichever was available to you, you hit it either way. And that was the one I was saying to just bet everything on. And he hit. Love to see that. Love to see that. And Kevin Durant had 6 first quarter points, so went over this line pretty easily. I wouldn't call that too much of a sweaty bet. So yeah, those 3 hit for us, nice and easy. Then what didn't hit? Vasilij Micic, dude, he'd been killing for us. I was calling him a locked in sports MVP, and then he just didn't get there. Just really didn't have a great game last night. Jalen Suggs, same deal. Same deal. His lines are about the same place as Micic. He scored about the same place as Micic. Just wasn't getting there at all. And then the last pick, I took Malik Monk for over 16.5 points. 0. I believe he was 0-11 from the field. I don't have words for you guys. I don't. He'd been shooting 60% against the Magic. And it's Malik Monk. He's projected to win, 6th man of the year. We know he's a great player, and then he just dropped 0. I don't know what to say. Never saw that coming. But that's it for the recap section. Let's get into the main picks for the day. So I'm coming at you with my 6 best bets. Let's hit it. My first bet of the day comes from a player on the 76ers who you might not have heard of or bet on before. I hadn't heard of or bet on him before this. It's Tosan Evambun. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but I'm taking him for over 9.5 points. Why am I taking this guy for over 9.5 points? Because he's just started seeing actual minutes, and he's just found his way into a good role in the lineup. He was playing less than 10 minutes for, I believe, pretty much the entire season. In the last 2 games, he's been playing 30, but in the last 3 games, he's hit this line. And even in blowouts, he's playing 30-plus minutes, which this 76ers game is looking like it might be. And I just think that this is a guy where he's been doing really well recently, and he's finding his way into a starting lineup that sees him a lot of shot opportunities, but the sports books haven't caught up with the production that he's getting, with how many shots he's going to be taking and how many points he's going to be getting. So I think this is just a point where the sports books haven't caught up to where Tosan's lines should be. And so I really like backing him here for his points line. I mean, he's over in his last three. It really wasn't that close. I think this is another game where he probably sees 30 minutes and easily clears this line in the third quarter. So Tosan Avabamwin for over 9.5 points. All right, for this next pick, I am backing another 76ers player. I'm taking Kelly Oubre Jr. for over 4.5 first quarter points. Why? Because Oubre Jr. has been killing it recently. He's been playing really, really well. But why specifically first quarter? Well, it's a potential blowout. So he might not be on the court the full game, might not see action in the fourth quarter. But additionally, he's averaging 5.3 points in his last 10 in the first quarter. So he's already over this line in the first quarter, averaging over it. And specifically in his last 5 games, he's averaging 6.6 first quarter points. So he's been on a good streak for his last 10. And he's been on a better streak for his last 5. And I don't see a reason that streak would break tonight. And I think that this is another first quarter where Kelly Oubre Jr. goes out there and he drops 6, 7, maybe even 8 points. So I'm locking in easily Kelly Oubre Jr. for over 4.5 first quarter points. Hopping over to the Golden State Warriors, I'm taking another first quarter points bet. It's Brandon Podziemski for over 2 first quarter points. Why? Well, he's been averaging 3.1 points over his last 10, but he averages 9 first quarter points against Minnesota. He's the only Warrior that I could find that does better against Minnesota than an average team. Minnesota has a notoriously good defense, not as great with Cat out, but still a really good defense. And all of the Warriors, most players in the league, do worse against Minnesota, and their averages against Minnesota are down versus their averages in general. Not Brandon. He averages higher points against Minnesota, but specifically, does better in the first quarter. This isn't a bet I'm taking because I think it might be a blowout. This is a bet I'm taking because Brandon Podziemski likes to show up in the first quarter, go insane, especially against Minnesota, and then kind of fade off in the rest of the game. So if you want to take his full points line, I don't hate it. I like that line, and I did consider taking it. But the fact that he's averaging 9 first quarter points against Minnesota is too good to pass up. So I'm taking Brandon Podziemski for over 2 first quarter points. Now on to a player from the Bucks, the thumbnail player for this video, and it's another first quarter points line. They're too good to pass up. I'm taking Giannis Antetokounmpo for over 5.5 first quarter points. Why? Do I think it's going to be a blowout? No, but he's been averaging 7.5 first quarter points over his last 10, and it's a good matchup. I think that Giannis is just going to go out there and lay out the Thunder. I love the Thunder. So this isn't Thunder hate going on. This is, I don't see anyone on that team who can stop Giannis. I know Chet is great on defense, but Giannis is running through Chet. He is. He's running through Chet at least 3 times. He's getting at least 3 buckets, and he's getting at least 6 points in clearing this line. If you want to take his full game points, I like it. He's averaging around that line, but he's averaging so far ahead of his first quarter points that it's too good to pass up. I really think that the sports books just dropped the ball today on first quarter points lines, and that's why I have 3 of them. When the data is there, it's there. And when the picks are too good to pass up, I'm going to keep taking first quarter points lines. So that's Giannis Antetokounmpo for over 5.5 first quarter points. For this next pick, we're heading over to the other side of the ball. We are taking a Thunder player, and it's Lou Dort for over 9.5 points. Why? Well, he's been averaging 11.7 over his last 10, and he's over this in 4 out of his last 5 games. So why is his line so low? Well, the Bucks defense has really improved. But that improved defense isn't going to be targeting Lou Dort. It's going to be targeting SGA, and if not SGA, they'll be they'll have Patrick Beverley hounding Chet or Jalen Williams or someone who isn't Lou Dort. He's not in their top 3 scorers. He's not going to see the bulk of the Minnesota, the Milwaukee defense on him. And I think he's going to see himself open a lot. I think he's going to get a lot of good looks, a lot of free open shots, or a lot of shots with just a weaker defender on him because the Bucks don't see him as a threat. But he has been averaging over this line recently, and I think it's a really good spot to back Lou Dort, and I really easily see him getting 14 to 15 points just based on being in the right place at the right time. So I like Lou Dort for over 9.5 points. For this last pick, 6th and final pick, I'm heading over to the Lakers, and I'm taking Rui Hachimura for over 13.5 points. Rui's been on a really good streak recently, averaging 15.9 points over his last 10, and he's over this 13.5 point line in 5 out of his last 5. Yeah. And he's playing Indiana. Indiana, who's known for giving up a lot of points and having a really fast-paced game. Yeah. Rui is just in the best spot in my position to go over his lines tonight from the Lakers. Because he's already averaging over these lines and you're putting him in a faster paced environment. There isn't that much to say about it. This is a really locked in bet just based on his numbers recently alone. So I'm taking Rui Hachimura for over 13.5 points. Those were my 6 best bets for today, Sunday, March 24th in the NBA. I'm sorry for getting this video out a little later. Like I said, I'm on vacation. I'm working with what I got. Thank you guys for sticking with me and understanding. Now, before I go, I want to hand out my cutting room floor picks. If you're new here, at the end of every video, I like to hand out the extra picks that I dig up in research because I do a lot of research for these videos, about 2 to 3 hours per video. And I don't like just leaving the extra picks that I dig up just on the cutting room floor. I like handing them out to you guys because they're still good picks that I endorse. And even if they're not in my 6 favorite, I still back them. And if you need some to add to a parlay, or one of these is for a player you like or a pick you were already thinking about taking, awesome. I hope you make money with it. So for my cutting room floor picks, I've got Terry Rozier for over 18.5 points. He's been averaging about this line, but the Cleveland matchup is the boost here for him. Nikola Jovic for over 6.5 points. He's been averaging 7.9 in his last 10, and he dropped 14 on Cleveland earlier in the season. But it's really hard to tell how many minutes he'll play. He jumped between playing like 10 and 25. So, yeah, it's just a volatile player. Anthony Edwards for over 28.5 points. We've all seen the posters that Ant is putting on and just what he's doing in the league right now. He's insane. And I think this is a matchup where he just goes and posterizes Golden State. I don't think they have anyone who can stop him. And I think if Draymond gets in his way, he's going to jump over Draymond. Yeah, that's all there is to it. He's been averaging a bit under this line recently, and the matchup doesn't give him any favors. It's just how he's been playing recently and how small Golden State is. I think Ant could really just dominate them. Mike Conley for over 11.5 points. He's been averaging 12.8 over his last 10, but he averages only 10.5 against the Warriors. But he is over in 4 out of his last 5, and for 3 of those games, it's not even close. He doubles this line. So I do like Mike Conley here. And I have Josh Giddey for over 20.5 PRA. Really similar to Lou Dort. Just, I think that his lines are down a bit because the Bucks defense is really solid. But I don't think that defense is going to be directed at Josh Giddey. So he's been averaging above this line recently at 13, 6, and 4.6 over his last 10. He's over this line in 4 out of his last 5. I wanted to take a Thunder player, and I felt more confident in Lou Dort. But I do like Josh Giddey for his PRA line. And lastly, I have Pascal Siakam for over 7.5 rebounds. He's averaging 9.9 in his last 10. Kind of crazy. And he's over this in 5 straight. So, numbers wise, might be the best pick here today. I just worry about him being matched up against Anthony Davis. Yeah. I think AD is going to be grabbing too many boards here for Pascal Siakam to maybe see his line. I think LeBron's also really good at grabbing boards. I think there's just too many players on the Lakers who could interfere with Siakam getting his boards. But looking at it numbers wise, this is a great bet. All right. That's all for the video. Those were my 6 best bets for today, Sunday, March 24th in the NBA, and my cutting room floor picks. As always, I know I said it at the beginning of the video, but please subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when these videos come out. It really does help you guys out because we're making a lot of money here. We're on a really good streak on the channel, and I'm really proud of it. Like the video, comment your own picks, parlays in the comment section down below. I love seeing what you guys are betting because I like sweating them out with you. Yeah, that's really all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching and for putting up with my weird upload times and weird background and lighting. Yeah, I appreciate you guys still being here. But that's all for the video today. Thank you for watching. Have a good one, and let's make some money. Yeah.